Hey folks, welcome to Butterfly Bricks, hope you're all well. So in today's video I'm going to go over the most useful, tried and tested ways of organising Lego. I'll explain the pros and cons of each, as I've been through all the ups and downs, tried everything over the space of 10 years, and I've got some interesting conclusions. This video is mainly focused on organising kids' collections, but I'll start by first explaining that there is a world of difference between organising Lego when you have kids and organising it as an AFOL or a collector. I'm in the grey area in the middle, as I'm in both categories. And the challenge many of us have is organising Lego and toys in general, especially to maximise play usage and display purposes, and also taking into consideration the reality for many parents, which is kids don't really like organising stuff. Now, many AFOL collectors are essentially using Lego as a medium for art. It's a building technique for model making, huge train and city layouts. This is a world in which organising bricks is really down to personal preference. It's what makes sense to you as an adult, and the way they organise their bricks will likely seem bizarre to another AFOL. But if you've got kids, you've really got 4 options, and these all vary on your kids' behaviour, your own parenting style, and how committed you are to tidying up after them, and it also depends on your kids' ages and the size of their collection. If you've got young kids and they're into Duplo, keep hold of it, as they are fully compatible with Lego system bricks, and you can make large chunks of terrain really quickly, and they're easy to store all together in one container. Playmobil takes up a lot more space, but it's a lot easier to store than Lego. It's really just the accessories, animals and figures that kinda need separating, and if you start this off when they're young, they'll understand that after play, things need to go back where they came from. So your first option is by colour. It can be hard work, but it looks really cool. However, how far do you go with it? So the bad points. You will likely struggle to keep it up, as it's going to be you that is doing this as a parent. I find little kids don't have the patience for this, and older kids actually prefer to build more thematically than with colour. Another problem is inevitably you will end up with a lot more grey, white and black bricks, as these colours feature a lot more, and then you'll find the perfect storage drawers you thought would fit all of it, they just overflow with one particular colour. Then what do you do with large plates and canopies? Well, I'll tell you what happens. You'll end up with a drawer or box of them, and you're now on the road to organising by brick type. You'll also need to decide what to do with minifigures and their accessories, and do they get split by colour? But the good stuff. Colour is so much fun with young kids, as when making simple creations, you're only using certain colours, and what they actually end up building looks more like what they had in mind. It's also a simple breakdown procedure too, as when you're taking apart a set, you're only sorting a few colours and not spending ages sorting out tons of brick types. Another good thing is space. It keeps it all in one drawer unit, which is easier to clean up. Option 2 is by theme. This is a very handy way if you have 2 kids who are into different themes. You might have one who's into Friends, another into Minecraft, but they both might like city stuff. And if they're not that fussed about other themes, then you can hone it down to just those few, and that's an excellent way of keeping things separated. Ikea and the usual stores have ample solutions to kids' storage bins and trays, and these are the easiest, most ergonomic and aesthetically pleasing options. And what you're doing here is keeping parts of the sets, all the accessories and all the minifigures in their individual containers. So the good points. My kids have got a wee tray for Star Wars stuff here, and it's all side builds, parts that come in handy for making landing pads or battle scenarios, and it's fast to get play going, as they can find it all quick. There's printed tiles, engines and wings, they're all together. We did organisation by theme for a long time, and it really worked, but here's the bad parts. They're always looking for stuff. By theme, your kids will end up looking through, trying to find all those blasters, printed parts and figures. This is frustrating as a child, when you can't find Darth Vader, and only Darth Vader will do. I know I just said a good point is that it's quick to find things, but you know kids, and they don't stay organised, and Vader will end up in Cloud Cuckoo Land. Option 3 is mixed. Yes, this is a solution. Some kids actually enjoy this, and you can get just a few large, preferably shallow containers and store it all here. The good points is it's super easy for tidying up. It keeps it simple. It's also good for kids that enjoy the build more than the actual play, and you can combine this with maybe a sheet on the floor, tip the bricks out and give them a build challenge and see how they get on. It's also cheaper. If your kid's relationship with Lego is more about the build, then you can buy job lots of parts on Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree, and this is a far more economical way than the £130 Star Wars set or a £60 fire engine. Now the bad points, it does take a while to break it all up at the end of play. For some kids, they can also get frustrated as they want to find certain parts that they know they have, or that one minifigure they want and it's lost in the mess. It certainly might be a good solution when they're young, but when they're more advanced builders, they really need structure of parts, and without this they can end up losing interest in Lego at a young age. The competition of PS4, the DS and Nintendo Switch is quite strong compared to a jumble of mixed up bricks. Lastly, option 4. This is a mixture of all of the above. You have colour sorted bricks, trays of themes, sets on display, and your spare parts collection is sorted into brick type. This for me is the best option, and it's what I've ended up settling on. It does have its bad points however, but I'll run over a few things first. If you sort a huge chunk of basic parts like arches, slopes and small plates and things like that into colour, it's certainly helpful and my kids use it a lot. But minifigures, large bricks, specialist parts and accessories, they definitely need to be organised better. Check out my other video on organising minifigures here, by the way. Once you know how much space you've got for this and how much you want to spend on storage, it's a good idea to sort certain things by brick type. It is hugely time consuming when you first do it, like half a day's work when you're breaking up a massive set for a rebuild. But once you have a system that's intuitive like the one we feel we've got, all these tiles, masonry bricks, columns, etc., they all get used in conjunction together, and then you'll find it works really well having it all split like this. My kids can find exactly what they need and bring it to trade to get the parts required. If this was all sorted out by colour, it would be a bit tricky. This is all very time consuming process, but it's totally worth it if you have a large collection and your kids are beyond the juniors phase. If you're going to go down the route, it's essential that the kids are involved in it so they decide where it all goes. Make it accessible and make sure the trays aren't too big or heavy to be lifted out. If you have older kids who want to sort by brick type, start small with something like this and gradually buy more organisers as their collection grows. Whatever way you choose to organise, it's important to ask the kids what they want. Are they more into build and display or rebuilds and play? Try different solutions, but don't spend a fortune on storage. Maybe start off with a few shallow Ikea style trays at first. Get them involved. They can write the labels or choose what goes where, and it's a fun exercise. Let me know in the comments how you've managed with your kids' collection. What's your preference? And are you an AFOL who is struggling to have your Lego bricks and their ones, and are you turning into President Business? Well, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss a thing, and check out my other videos here too. Bye!